The system is called school to prison pipeline. In case you don't know, the system is real. It exists.
It was me fighting against the system.
All right, I'm gonna get straight to the point. How many in here love their mother? Raise your hand. You really love your mother? I mean, do you really love your mother? How many here still got their father? How many in here love their father? Wow. And you know the reason why I asked that question? I never had a mother. Never had a father. I lost my mother and father when I was 8, going on 9. My life after that, foster home, group homes, you name it. Everything took a turn for the worse. Because my father beat my mother to death. When he beat my mother to death, I was put through a whole different change of life. And as the years went by, I was fighting out in the streets. I was doing everything wrong. In fact, I even dropped up out of school because of my attitude, because of the way I looked at life, and because of the way I perceived life. Life for me took a turn for the worse. And I'm quite sure everybody here is going through some type of form of why you feel the way that you feel and why you're in the position that you're in right now. Mine was being mad at society. Everything that I had to my advantage, I lost because of being mad at the world. I took it all the wrong way. I dropped up out of school, where it led to where I was out in the streets and I got convicted of murder.
I'm guaranteed either dying in prison or walking out in the box.
Dewey Bozzella spent 26 years in prison for a murder he did not commit.
That moment when you were in the courtroom and you were convicted, what did that feel like?
I put it to you like this, it was so devastating I fell on the floor and just started crying. I couldn't believe that they convicted me with nothing.
He got 20 years to life. Time and time again, he was offered deals to shorten his sentence if he just admitted that he did it.
Can't do it. I can't tell you something I didn't do. I'm sorry. And so I made my conviction was that I'd rather die than tell you I did it.
Then, 2 years ago, they found new evidence Dewey Bozzella was set free.
It took all them years, 32 years it took for me to prove my innocence was finally over. So that was the blessing, that was the gift, that was my second chance at life.
Boxing helped save him in prison.
Without it, I know I wouldn't be the same person I am today.
Dewey had a dream when he became a free man. One professional fight.
30 seconds.
Bernard Hopkins is giving him that chance.
It's a gift. I'm happy. Thank you. Thank you for, letting me see that, dreams can happen.
All of the emotions and everything that you've had bottled up inside you for all these years, is this going to come out in the ring that night?
Do every single living thing in my possibility as a human being to not lose. Not refuse to lose.
Dewey also refuses to be angry.
Society owes me nothing. I owe society. If I have something to offer back to society, then all the blessings will come back. But if I offer nothing but negativity to society, the only one I hurt is myself and the people that are around me.
And the murder that I was involved in got me 20 years to life. Not once, but twice. I did everything wrong when I got to prison. I wasn't doing anything with my life. I was sitting around, shucking and jiving and going nowhere.
I was angry, I was bitter, I was frustrated, and I was mad.
One day I met a guy by the name of Sharif. After we conversated, I turned my life around. I went and got my GED. I got a paralegal certificate in law. I got human development, substance abuse, you name it, I took it. And for the next few years, I became Sing light heavyweight champion. I turned everything around, and I finally got my case overturned. And when I got my case overturned, in my second trial, things were so bad that the prosecuting district attorney said, listen, we want to make a deal with you, Mr. Bozella. We give you 7 to 14 manslaughter, you got 6 months before you see the parole board, with the possibility of going home. I said, no, I didn't take the deal. Okay, Mr. Bozella, we give you what we call time served. All you got to do is admit guilt and sign a piece of paper. No, I didn't do it. Okay, Mr. Bozella, we got what we call a scenario alpha plea. This is very, 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 very rare. We don't do this. You just sign the piece of paper, you walk out the courtroom right now, and you ain't got to say a word. No, I can't do that. I didn't do it. It cost me another 19 years. For the next 19 years, I got in the Poughkeepsie Journal. I got in the New York Daily News Centerfold. I'm fighting like heck for my freedom. Everything in my case was destroyed. The Poughkeepsie Police Department destroyed everything. To where in the year 2005, I went to my first parole board. And the parole board said, you gotta admit guilt in order to go home. I said, no. I went to another parole board. This time when I went to the parole board, I went to the parole board with 52 certificates, 3 trades, and a master's degree. You know what they said? You can't go home, Mr. Bozella, until you admit guilt. My exact words to him were this: well, if you wait for me to tell you if I did it, I'm gonna die in prison. Think about that for a second. If you wait for me to tell you I did it, I'm gonna die in prison, because I'm not telling you I did it. In the year 2009, I was brought before a special parole board. And they said, listen to him, Mr. Bozella. You know, we want you to go home, but you can't because you're not going to admit guilt. I just told him straight up, man, do what you got to do, man, because I'm not telling you anything. I told my lawyers, I said, listen, man, do me a favor. No one wants to believe me. Go see the arresting officer that arrested me. Listen to the year, 1977. Just go by and see him, man. I think he might have a change of heart. They finally went by his house. When we went by his house, at first he was redemptive, then he let him in. And the first thing they asked him, Ross Disbarm asked him, he said, do you have any recollection about Mr. Dewey Bozella's case? I said, yes, I do. What do you know about Mr. Bozella's case? He said, I want you to know that when I left the Poughkeepsie Police Department and I retired, I took Mr. Bozella's files home with me. Are you supposed to take Mr. Bozella's files with you? No, I'm not. I'm not supposed to take them home with me, but I want you to know I took them home with me because I knew that one day someone would come talk to me about this man's case. Here are his files. Inside the files, they're called Brady material, Rosario material, newly discovered evidence that said I did not commit the murder. Not only that, the prosecuting district attorney, Mr. William O'Neill, who sentenced me in 1983 to 20 years of life, and then I went back on a retrial on Bassett versus Kentucky, and when I got back on a retrial, the case was so bad I was offered all these deals. He got me resentenced 20 years of life again. But in 1976, 6 months after the murder that I was arrested for, he was in the room with someone else that told him that this guy's the one that committed the murder. Not only that, when the prosecuting district attorney and the judge let him go inside the files that he did not want anybody to see, 32 years later, they found a taped statement in his office that someone else committed the crime. He hid the tape over 30 years. Yeah. Facts. Everything I tell you is facts. Everything I tell you is on file. And the reason why they found out, guess what happened? Judge Rosenberg said this is overwhelming evidence. This man would have had this in any one of the 2 trials. I believe that the case would have been dismissed. What are you going to do, Mr. Prosecutor, District Attorney? Can't do anything. In 2009, October 28th, my case was dismissed. I stood in front of the Poughkeepsie Police. I stood in front of them on 10 Market Street, and the first thing I said was, you know what? I forgive you. Even though I did 26 and a half years for a crime I did not commit, I forgive you. You know why? Because the same way you took away my life is the same way you gave me back my life. You could have destroyed them files. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is this. Nothing is impossible if you strongly believe in what you determine to put your life at risk for. My life was this. I said I would rather die than tell you I did it. Now I'm asking you. I'm asking each and every one of y'all right here, make up your mind on what you want to do with your life. Make up your mind on what's important to you. You say you love your mother? Then don't send her to the grave worried about you. You say you love your father? And respect his wishes, man, and do something better with your life. I never had it. I never grew up with it. This is your opportunity now. And like an older, wiser man once told me, and I'm gonna tell you, make this place here your university of learning. Make this place here your last stop, or whatever you're gonna do with your life. Turn it around and turn it around now. Don't make the mistake that I made. I made one bad choice. Like I always say, older wiser man told me, he said, listen man, a 2-second thrill costs you a lifetime of misery. All it takes is 2 seconds to make one bad choice. So I'm asking you to make a good choice. I'm asking you to turn this around. And thank you.
Bring it. Bring it. You can't hurt me no more than I already been hurt. Black eye, busted lip, busted nose, broken rib. You can't hurt me no more. You can't. I've been knocked down so many times, I had no choice but to get back up. Or lay down and die. And I ain't ready for that yet. So I'm gonna fight.
I am a slave. Yo, master must die. I can be slave all my life. Living conditions ain't right. Stomach on empty, I can't sleep at night. Look at the things that they did to my wife. Yo, I'm taking my freedom. Who down to unite? We can move like our own army, ready to fight. Or try to escape when the timing is right. Can tell anybody they snitching on sight. Cause living like this, I'd rather choose death. Master can put many shots through my chest, but we catch him slipping and put him to rest. Yo, I'm praying to God that some order my steps. I've been through too much in my life, no control. I heard it's a tunnel that's under the road. This master don't own me, this my life and soul. I have ambitions and dreams and some goals.
They may have taken all my dreams away years ago, but this one dream, nobody's gonna take away.
How we feel? Good. How we feel? Good. Okay then.
Please join me in welcoming Dewey Bozella.
I saw a man who, as he walked up to that podium and he threw his hands up, to me, that was him saying, I told you, I was never giving up.
Every day I had to ask myself, how do I survive this nightmare in Sing Sing? A place where hate and anger are the order of the day. Boxing awakened me. I felt free. I was no longer a prisoner. So all the lawyers involved in my case, thank you for your dedication and belief in me, and most of all, for making me a free man. May God bless you all. Good night.
I have have ambitions and dreams and some goals. If you ain't got my back, let me know for real. Cause when it's time to attack, then be ready to kill. Even slaves get it too if they try to appeal. I'm going out